I'm Steve Weikal. I'm the industry chair for the Real Estate Transformation Lab at the MIT Center for Real Estate. Let's take a look at climate. That's an area where might have a more obvious impact of technology. So just look at energy, how inefficient our energy delivery is in the United States and around the world, and how inefficient our buildings are in their use of energy. So there will be many breakthroughs on the system that brings energy to buildings, and that will become more efficient and ultimately less expensive, but it's going to be messy and a challenge during the transition. Because right now, the building is cool during the 5 days of the week when people are theoretically in their offices. There's a little bit of adjustability, and then it's timed to not cool on the weekends when nobody's there. I'm simplifying things, but what if it was fully dynamic and you had real-time observation and you could potentially buy energy when it's less expensive at night and use it during the day? All of these energy management systems that are software-based and some hardware-based will see a huge amount of activity, flurry of activity in that particular area on the management side of that. And then hardware generally will have new types of air handlers, we'll have new types of coolers, we'll have innovative new ways of generating heat and cool. There are already some big geothermal projects going on, actually right here in New York City, that whoever would have thought we would use geothermal in New York for a tower of some sort. So there will be hardware breakthroughs along with software breakthroughs in energy, which is related to climate. I think flexibility will be a key word. And right now, flexibility looks like repositioning, repurposing, adaptive reuse, where it's a big intervention. If you convert an office building to residential, there's a lot of work that has to be done. But I think we should watch in the not too distant future where buildings become more dynamic. Walls are movable and addressable and programmable, and maybe and furniture becomes kind of robotic as well. And there's some limited examples of this. One company called Ori that came out of MIT builds a robotic system for apartments that are, they're dynamic. They sort of live like a 600 square foot apartment, but it's only 250 square feet because there's so much waste in the utilization of space. So what if we had a building that was office during the day, and then you press a few buttons and the walls move around and the furniture moves around, and now it becomes event space at night. And then you press the button again and then it adjusts and it becomes a kind of an ad hoc hotel of sorts, a place to live in. And then the next morning you go back and it turns into a restaurant, so everybody has breakfast, and then the walls move around and it becomes a workspace again. It won't even really be office. I think calling it a workspace is a better way to think about it. So that's the idea, this idea of a robotic building. And will that add value? Can we now charge a premium? Can all of these income sources, rather than what the current situation is, you have somebody pays a lease on an office building, they get to use it anytime they want, but it sits empty at night. It sits empty on weekends. Now, in some cases, it sits empty on Monday and Friday. So I'll give you another twist on that. There will be innovations on the business model as well. So I was talking about a fully robotic building, which would be flexible. But what about flexibility on this relationship between the tenant and the building? What if I'll be able to sign a lease for Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week, and another company signs a lease for the same office space Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? It's kind of interesting to think about that. A little bit like, for example, this building was a place of worship years ago when it was first built. So what if one religion uses it on their high holiday on Friday, and another one uses it on Saturday, another one uses it on Sunday, and then there's a school Monday through Thursday? So this is not really a new idea, but now it's enabled by technology, which helps with the management of it and the finance of it and the use of it. So anyway, I think that's what the longer term view is, that real estate will not be, as has been quoted, real estate is no longer a fixed asset. It becomes this kind of dynamic, responsive asset depending upon the need and the people that are using it.